and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen!
This is The Roman Show.
On February 1st, UFC 169, the man to my left will fight the featherweight champion Jose Aldo. Ricardo Lamas finally gets to action after 1 year out of the octagon, but it's not because you were injured, Ricardo. It was because you were just waiting, patiently waiting. I guess it just goes to say, good things come to those who wait, Ricardo.
That's right. Yeah, you know, I felt like I've been in a position about 3 times to be in the title fight, and I kind of been passed over, and I just had to sit aside and wait for a little bit, but it all paid off. So I couldn't ask for it to end any better. Now I'm fighting Jose Aldo. I'm, you know, the biggest weekend for sports, Super Bowl weekend in New Jersey, on a pay-per-view card. So I'm real happy and excited about it. It's
been a year, Ricardo, that you last we saw you in action, but here you are. Were there any pros and cons about that layoff?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people assume that it's going to be a con, but, you know, they need to realize that I wasn't injured just sitting off to the sides, not doing anything. I took this year, I was in the gym every day, and I took this year to get better as a fighter. You know, when you have fight after fight, you kind of get stuck in this monotony of training for a specific fighter that you're going to fight and not really getting to work on your weaknesses yourself as a fighter. So I've really taken this time to improve, and it's actually even made me more hungry. You know, I went through an entire training camp for preparing for the Korean Zombie, and then I got taken away at the end. So all that stress is, you know, combined over to this one and all that animosity, and I'm hungry now, you know.
Thinking back to the period when the Korean Zombie, you were scheduled to fight him, and then they put him over to fight Jose Aldo. What was the first thing that ran through your mind? Were you really mixed emotions? Were you mad? Were you pissed? Or did you see the positive light at the end of the tunnel? What went through your mind to that period?
Yeah, I was mad. You know, it basically happened about 2 weeks out from our scheduled fight when I was supposed to fight the Korean Zombie, and then I didn't get a phone call from the UFC or anything. I found out on Twitter that it happened, and I was upset. I was mad. You know, it was months of preparation, and then it was all just taken away. So it took me a couple days to kind of chill out again and regroup, and I went right back into the gym after that.
But I have to give you credit. You didn't go bananas on social media or anything. However, there was a video, though, that you were at a club and you filmed, and they were shouting your last name. Can you describe that to us? And you tweeted at Dana White.
Yeah, it was actually the night of the Jose Aldo Korean Zombie fight. After the fight had ended, I was up by the DJ booth, and, you know, I congratulated Jose Aldo on another victory, and then I asked the crowd who they wanted to see next in there against Jose Aldo, and everybody started chanting, you know, Lamas. So I just wanted to let the UFC and Dana White know that there are people out there that wanted me to see fight for the title.
So Jose Aldo obviously was a top guy in mixed martial arts right now. But how can this guy be beaten, Ricardo? We've seen his leg kicks. We see how forceful he is. But what can be done to take this guy down?
Everybody's time comes to an end. You know, his time as king is coming to an end. People need to realize that he's human. He's not unbeatable. You know, Superman only exists in the movies. I think you have to be not only physically strong, but mentally strong to defeat Jose Aldo. You know, I got to take everything he throws at me and let him know that it's not going to back me down and it's not going to hurt me, and I got to keep going forward. I have no delusion that this is going to be an easy fight. You know, I know it's going to be the hardest fight of my career, but I'm up for the challenge, and I believe in myself and believe that I can do it.
Going into this fight, there's already talk that possibly he's going to move up to the lightweight division after you. Do you take that offensively in any chance?
If he's looking past me, it's going to make my job that much easier, you know, so it's up to him. I hope that he trained his hardest for this fight, because I know I trained my hardest for this fight. And when I win, I don't want any excuses that he looked past me or anything like that. I want to fight the best Jose Aldo that there is.
Let's talk about some lighter stuff here. Bully, your nickname. How'd you get that nickname that some folks might not know about?
Yeah, a lot of people, when they hear my nickname, they think it's like a schoolyard bully, but it really comes from my dogs. I have 2 English Bull Terriers, and they're like my mascots. You know, if you look at my trunks, I got the Bull Terrier hat on there all the time, and it's on my banner. So I just love the breed. I love their personality and everything, and I think that we kind of share the same personality. You know, they're these big, strong-looking dogs, but when you get to know them, they're like clowns. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm the same way, but at the same time, you don't want to piss them off, because you know, they pack a bite.
And now, congratulations, you received a black belt over here at MMA Masters where you train in Miami, Florida. Describe the feeling and how did it happen? Because you told me earlier on today you were shocked when that happened.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting it. UFC was in town filming me for the Countdown show, and class had just wrapped up, and we were all lined up, and all of a sudden somebody brought a box over to Daniel, and he started talking about a belt promotion, and he promoted Amanda Nunes to black belt also as another UFC fighter. And then out of nowhere, he started talking about somebody else, and then I realized who he was talking about, and he gave me my black belt, and it was awesome. It's something that I've been working for years, and to get the recognition from somebody like Daniel to be a black belt is awesome because he's one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world.
Now, I want to, before we went the interview, but I want to mention that you were talking to me about Danny Valverde and how you met him, and it just comes to show you how much mixed martial arts has grown in popularity and where it is today. You met Danny Valverde. One of the first classes you took from him was at a YMCA.
Yeah, yep. It was after my very first amateur fight. I was out here on vacation actually with some friends, and I decided to get a workout in one day. So a friend of one of my trainers directed me to this guy that is doing jiu-jitsu classes, so I should go over there and roll. And it was in a YMCA, like we were practicing on like the dirty gym mats, that you just pull out that have the Velcro on them. And now he owns a awesome gym, in close to downtown Miami with a ton of great fighters. And yeah, that was the first time I met him.
Just amazing. Danny Valverde also appeared in The Ultimate Fighter, and as we know, he's in a great done great stuff for the jiu-jitsu as of today. He appeared in I can't remember right now off the top of my head which Ultimate Fighter is, but he was a coach there. And Danny Valverde and Master Cesar as well, who run MMA Masters and are definitely doing good things for the sport. A lot of big guys coming out of there. Amanda Nunes also in the UFC, yourself, Luis Palomino, and the list goes on. And the training there with those guys, it's exceptional for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm completely satisfied with it. Me and Baboon go back and forth with each other, and we've made each other improve so much over the last few years. If he was my only training partner for this fight, I'd be satisfied with that. That's how good he is. That's how much I look up to him, and I'm ready, man.
And the good thing about it is you guys know how to cook some good Peruvian ceviche, right?
Oh my God, he ruined me. Like, he was the one that introduced me to Peruvian food, and now I'm addicted to it. Like, I can't stop. I have a problem. So I have to stay away from him because if I ever go to his house, we start cooking up and I eat till I'm about to vomit. So.
Well, in just a little bit, we're going to eat right here at Randazzo's, and Coral gave us some pasta. So we're going to cheat a little bit for your fight. Ricardo, thanks so much. Good luck. February 1st, UFC 169, Lamas versus Jose Aldo for the UFC featherweight title.
This is The Roman Show.